I know you hesitated before opening this video. For a moment, something in you almost passed you by, but still, something deeper made you to stay. In the quantum field calling you, it was no coincidence that you arrived here. Something much bigger is calling you, and you can feel it, even if you don't understand it. A silent force ends to touch your conscience. Perhaps you felt a recent discomfort, a restlessness, as if life is pushing you toward something you can't yet see. These moments are not random. They are divine interruptions, subtle portals that open when you are ready to cross. As you hear these words, the field begins to reorganize around you. And if you allow it, you will realize that what seemed like a coincidence is, in fact, a summons, a reminder that there is a more awakened version of yourself waiting to be accessed. This video is a portal, a turning point where the mind gives way to consciousness, and the limited self begins to dissolve into the flow of the whole. If you stay until the end, something in you will be realigned. Not like magic, but like a recognition, the reminder that you have always been part of the very field that now calls to you. So, close your eyes for a moment. Feel it, because what seems like just another video is actually the quantum key your soul chose to open today. Breathe. Don't be in a rush to understand what's happening now. This moment when you feel the urge to stop, to simply observe, to listen to something that seems to beckon you, is no coincidence. It's consciousness seeping into the cracks of time. It's the pause that interrupts the hypnotic cycle of routine and creates space for the new to enter. You didn't click on this video by chance. You were guided here to remember something your being already knew. Pause is the beginning of all transformation. Feel what happens inside you when you simply allow it. The body slows, the mind hesitates, and for a moment you realize the world keeps spinning, but there's a silence growing within. This pause isn't an absence of action. It's the field where all true action is born. The universe moves through this empty space. It's where energy reorganizes, where the invisible prepares to become visible. You're aligning with something greater simply by being present. Maybe a part of you wants to distract yourself now, change videos, go back to automatic, but see, this resistance isn't a mistake. It's just the echo of the old self trying to survive. The ego fears silence because silence reveals who you truly are. Stay here, breathe into this discomfort. It's the sound of the old dissolving. The more you observe, the less the ego controls. And what remains when everything falls silent is your essence pure, conscious, awakened. The pause is the moment when time bends and eternity touches its field. Everything you've been searching for answers, clarity, meaning is contained in this now. You don't need to achieve anything. You don't need to prove yourself. Just allow yourself to be here, whole, present. The universe speaks through silence, and when you really listen, you realize that your whole life is calling you inward to the center of your being, where the real begins. Feel this energy in your body. The presence pulsates like a discrete light, expanding from within to without. Each breath creates a new frequency, a vibration that rearranges realities. When you pause, you change your field. You stop being moved by time and become the creator of time. And that's when the lines of reality begin to redraw themselves around you. You are, at this very moment, passing through an invisible portal the portal of consciousness. Now notice the urge to get out, to keep scrolling, to distract yourself. This slight tension is the sign that the field is moving. It is the old resisting expansion. But every time you choose to stay, the energy anchors. The pause turns into presence, and the presence in power. This is where the new begins to be born, and with it, the resistance that reveals how much your consciousness is awakening. Take a deep breath and feel something inside you starts to move. The mind wants to understand, but the body already knows. The resistance that emerges now, this desire to doubt, to postpone, to put it off, is not an obstacle. It's a sign. It shows that the energy has begun to reorganize itself, that the old is losing ground to the new. Your old self wants to keep you in the familiar because that's where it feels safe, but your higher self is calling from somewhere else. And it is in this tension between the known and the possible that awakening happens. Feel the field. Resistance is the friction of consciousness pushing against the walls of the old identity. It appears as fear, laziness, doubt, dispersion, but all of this is energy moving. Don't fight it. Watch it. Consciousness does not need to overcome the ego. It only needs to illuminate it. When the light of presence touches fear, fear loses density. And what once paralyzed you now reveals itself as nothing more than an echo of memories that no longer belong to you. Breathe into the resistance. Imagine that every doubt, every discomfort, is a veil being dissolved. Presence does not deny pain, it integrates it. When you observe discomfort without running away from it, trapped energy begins to release. This is where the universe tests you. Will you react as before, or will you remain conscious? And every time you choose to stay, you shift your timeline. You create a new frequency, a new reality forming from your inner silence. Resistance is, in fact, proof of transformation. The cocoon always closes before the butterfly is born. The same happens to you. The ego tries to squeeze, contain, rationalize, but consciousness does not need permission. It expands from the inside out, dissolving layers with each breath taken. And the more you surrender to the now, the more you feel the energy stabilizing, the vibration aligning. The old self dissolves like mist before the sun of consciousness. Now, notice the body. There is a slight tension, perhaps in the shoulders, perhaps in the chest. This is the old energy trying to resist the new frequency. But instead of fighting it, breathe love into that part. She's just scared. She fears disappearing because she doesn't understand that she's not dying, she's evolving. And by embracing resistance, you become greater than it. You become the field where everything is welcome, even that which seemed to impede change. Remain here in this state of living consciousness. The old and the new coexist within you, but it is your attention that defines which timeline solidifies. Every time you choose to stay present, the field responds. The energy reorganizes itself, and the universe recognizes, yes, he is ready. What was once resistance now becomes movement. And this movement is the vibrational bridge that takes you straight to the field, the quantum urgency, the call of the universe in real time. Breathe, feel the electricity of now. The field is alive and it responds to your presence. That feeling of urgency vibrating inside you isn't anxiety. It's the universe calling you in real time. It is the energetic language of destiny saying, The moment is now. The body feels before the mind understands, because the body is a translator of frequencies. The tightness in your chest, the racing of your heart, the warmth in your hands, all of this is the vibrational code for the expansion that is about to happen. You are at a convergence point. Timelines intersect before you, creating infinite possibilities. And it is your choice at this moment that defines which of them solidifies into reality. The urgency you feel is a reflection of two forces meeting, the past trying to keep you in the known, and the future calling you to the unknown. There is no right or wrong. There is only vibrational coherence. And when your energy begins to align with the new, everything old begins to stir, trying to pull you back. But if you remain anchored in presence, the portal opens. Feel the field. Close your eyes if you want. Imagine a spiral of energy swirling around your body, fast, intense, alive. It doesn't come from outside, it's yours. It's your quantum field responding to consciousness. Every thought, every breath, every micro-choice is a command. You are encoding your reality right now. The universe doesn't wait for your plan, it responds to your vibration. Therefore, every urgency is a disguised invitation, a call to decide who you are willing to be in this very moment. Understand the power of now. It's not time that's passing. It's you who's passing through time. With every breath, a timeline is rewritten. With each yes given to presence, the entire field reorganizes itself. The universe is instantaneous, but human consciousness still believes in delay. Quantum urgency comes to break this illusion. It pushes you to the point of creation, where thought and result exist at the same time in the same space. This is where matter begins to respond to its internal state. Breathe once more, feeling your body vibrate. The energy that previously seemed chaotic begins to transform into a harmonic pulse. Discomfort reveals itself as power. Fear reveals itself as movement. You are feeling the vibration of change, the code of the new reality activating through you. Urgency is the cosmic push the universe uses to align you with the purpose you have already chosen at another level of consciousness. You are not being pressured. You are being awakened. And this awakening begins to dissolve the main block to expansion, avoidance. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the space between one thought and another. It is in this interval that escape resides, the subtle habit of deviating from that which demands awareness. How many times have you felt the urge to change direction, to leave it for later, to seek a new stimulus, only to not feel what was really there? Avoidance is the ego's cleverest disguise. It dresses itself up as distraction, as productivity, as it's not the right time. But behind this, there is always something asking to be looked at, something that just wants to be felt, recognized, integrated. There is nothing wrong with you. Avoidance is not weakness, it is protection. Your system has learned that feeling is dangerous, that silence is a threat. So it keeps you in constant motion, running from one thought to another, from one task to another, without ever landing. But awakening begins when you decide to stop running. When you breathe in the urge to escape, that's when the trapped energy, the one that felt like fear, starts to release. What was tightness becomes flow. What was resistance becomes release. Notice the pattern. Every time you avoid, the energy stagnates. And when you face it, the field expands. Life is constantly trying to flow through you, but it cannot flow through what you insist on hiding. So in this moment, allow the light of presence to enter where there was once shadow. Don't force anything, just feel. Feel the emotion that tries to arise. She doesn't want to dominate you, she wants to free you. With each emotion welcomed, a piece of the ego surrenders, and the body returns to breathing in peace. Avoidance is the cycle of forgetting. It's the mind's way of trying to protect itself from its own expansion. But you are no longer at the same level of consciousness you were before. Now you have subtle tools, breathing, presence, observation. You can look at the pain without getting lost in it. You can feel without identifying. You can let discomfort be the gateway to your power. What once made you run away now calls you home. Breathe. Imagine that every time you feel something and choose to stay with it, a small spark of light ignites in your field. These sparks begin to connect, forming a network of consciousness within you. They transform every pain point into wisdom, every blockage into expansion. Avoidance weakens when you realize there is nothing inside you that needs to be feared. There are only parts waiting for light, and the more light you bring, the more coherence you radiate to the world. Now remain in this state of silent surrender. The escape cycle has been interrupted. You've returned to the center. Feel how the body vibrates differently when there is no more struggle, just presence. Consciousness stabilizes, and you begin to notice a new path forming an energetic bridge built by your conscious choices. Each moment of presence is a brick of light on that bridge that leads you to the state of being you have always been trying to emerge from. Pay attention. Feel the field around you expanding. There's a subtlety in the air, a vibe that feels new yet familiar. This is the frequency of alignment, the exact point at which the invisible begins to materialize. You are no longer where you were, and you are not yet where you will be. He is walking over the bridge, and this bridge is made of your choices, of the small decisions to stay present when everything inside you wanted to run away. The new reality does not arise from a leap, but from an accumulation of presences. Every moment you choose to be conscious, you strengthen the energetic structure of this bridge. It is not made of iron nor of stone. It is made of vibration, intention, and coherence. When you remain, even in the face of doubt, the universe responds. The field recognizes your frequency and begins to adjust. Paths that seemed blocked reopen, the right people appear, and synchronicities begin to weave the invisible into your daily life. Everything starts to conspire in favor of your internal state. Notice how silent the crossing process is. There are no fireworks, there is no show. The new reality reveals itself little by little, through sensations, perceptions, subtleties. You begin to notice a different lightness in situations that previously held you back. Begin to choose more clearly, speak more truthfully, act with more presence. These migrations are quantum portals, tiny but powerful. They don't change the world outside. They change the vibration with which you see the world. The bridge is not the destination, it is the process. And the process is sacred. Each step taken with awareness strengthens your field, anchors your frequency, and dissolves parallel realities that are no longer in resonance. You don't need to see the other side to trust. The vibration of confidence already builds the path under your feet. It's the same principle that makes light appear When you light a flame and the dark light always responds to the intention to exist. Reality responds to the vibration of silent faith. Breathe and feel the magnetism of the new calling you. The bridge vibrates beneath your feet, alive, pulsating, conscious. She knows the way even when the mind doubts. Allow yourself to be guided by this subtle wisdom, which does not speak in words, but in sensations. You're not going to a new place, you're becoming the place. The bridge does not lead to the new reality. It is the process of becoming the new reality. Now bring your attention to your body. Feel the vibration in every cell, the silent pulse of coherence stabilizing within you. The crossing is happening, and each breath consolidates it. Stay present without rushing to arrive. Because when you vibrate in tune with your real self, the new reality stops being a destiny and becomes the natural reflection of your own frequency. Now, breathe deeply. Feel the field within you beginning to move. It's no longer time to contemplate. It's time to let the energy express itself through the body. The universe does not respond to intentions that remain trapped in the mind, but to those that take form in the physical world. Every gesture, every word spoken with presence, every choice made in coherence with what you feel, all of this is a living prayer. Action is the language of consciousness. When you act in alignment, the field understands that you are ready to support what you asked for. Many believe that transformation requires strength, but true power comes from the gentleness of being whole in what you do. It's not the size of the action that matters, but the frequency that sustains it. A simple act, when guided by inner clarity, can alter entire timelines. It's like throwing a small stone into a calm lake. The ripples expand far beyond the point of impact. The universe observes vibration, not effort. And when this vibration is coherent, everything around begins to reorganize itself to reflect this internal state. Notice how inspired actions have their own rhythm. They don't come from fear nor from haste. They flow naturally, as if something greater were guiding you. You begin to realize when it's time to act and when it's time to allow. This balance is the true mastery of the quantum field, acting without forcing, moving without losing presence. It is the dance between the human and the divine, between time and the eternal. And every movement made in harmony becomes a silent decree of expansion. When you act in alignment, you are not just changing external circumstances. It is shaping your vibrational identity. With every decision you make in coherence, you send a clear message to the universe. I trust, and that trust becomes a magnetic field. The flow begins to seek you out. Opportunities recognize you, and doors that previously seemed locked open naturally. Nothing needs to be forced, because inspired action already contains within itself the seed of the result. Allow yourself to act from listening, not from rushing. Feel the moment before you move. Notice the silence before the word, the impulse before the gesture. It is in this sacred interval that synchrony reveals itself. When you become aware of this compass, every step you take is an act of deliberate creation. You stop being someone who seeks and become someone who manifests. And that changes everything. Breathe, let the energy of this presence anchor you. The field is already responding, reorganizing itself around its new coherence. You don't have to control the outcome. Just sustain the vibration of trust and surrender. Because when action is born from alignment, it doesn't generate effort. It generates expansion. And it is in this state of conscious expansion that a new timeline begins to stabilize around you. Feel the air slowly enter, moving through your body. And as you exhale, realize something in you is no longer the same. The vibe has changed. There is a new coherence pulsing, an alignment that now inhabits every cell. You walked through the pause, crossed the resistance, opened to the urgency, dissolved the avoidance, built the bridge, and acted with presence. Now it's time to seal the field, to integrate the new timeline you've chosen to live. Feel the space around you responding to your frequency. Everything is silent, but this silence is alive. It vibrates like an echo of your new state of being. Imagine a soft light descending from the top of your head, enveloping your entire body. This light represents your higher self, the consciousness that already knows the way, that already lives the reality you desire. There is no effort here, just permission. Permission to be who you already are, without masks, without defenses, without fear. Now, bring that awareness to the center of your chest. Visualize a small but pulsating point of light, your core of creation. With each breath, this light expands, occupying your field, your body, your space. It vibrates in resonance with the new timeline. See this energy connecting with all versions of you, past, present, and future, dissolving any shred of doubt. You are whole, and that wholeness is the portal. The new timeline is not something you access. It is something you sustain. Repeat internally, firmly, truthfully. I am aligned with my higher self. I claim my new timeline. Feel the weight of these words vibrating in your body, as if every cell recognizes them. These are not just words, they are anchoring codes, direct instructions to the quantum field. They inform the universe that the update is complete. The energy reorganizes, the field stabilizes, and the new becomes your basis of reality. You're not trying to create, you're remembering who you've always been. Remain in this state of absolute presence for a moment. Nothing to change, nothing to seek, just exist. Feel the serenity of it is already. This is true power. Not the power to achieve something, but the power to sustain what truly resonates with your essence. And as that vibration stabilizes, the world around you gently bends to reflect what you have become. There is no separation between inside and outside. The field is one, responding to its coherence. Take one last deep breath, and as you exhale, imagine this energy expanding silently, touching everything that is part of your new reality. You don't need to do anything other than remain in a state of awareness. The timeline is sealed, the field is alive, and the new cycle has already begun to manifest. All that is true remains. Everything that is dissonant dissolves. You've found your place fully immersed in the frequency you've always sought. This silence that surrounds you now is not empty. It is the space where the new begins to be born. Nothing that has happened so far has been by chance. Everything has brought you to this very moment where something in you begins toto. Remember that your next level is not in the future. It activates now the moment you stop ignoring what was always meant for you. Breathe. Feel this energy moving within you, as if the entire universe was watching you, just waiting for your yes, the yes to your truth, the yes to your power, the yes to the life that wants to be born through you. If this message touched you, it's because it did not come from outside. It came from the place in you that already knows the way. So let this vibration continue like this video. Share it with those who are also awakening, and subscribe to follow me in this expansion. Because what comes next is not just another video, it is a new portal of your consciousness. And if you've come this far, it's because you're ready to cross it. I am the messenger, and the message is your awakening.